Let's start by going over the required equipment items to complete a FSII sample test. Here you'll see a B2 refractometer. The refractometer measures diethylene glycomonomethyl ether in percent by volume, also known as diagme. It's a delicate piece of equipment. Here you see the prism plate cover used to protect the prism from outside sources and scratches. You also have a small opening to be able to distribute the sample through. Next, you'll actually see here a picture of the prism. You don't want to scratch this prism, put anything on it directly if you can avoid it, and only use a soft cloth to clean the prism itself. This is the end where you will actually look through in your viewfinder. When you go to calibrate it, you'll see this next slide here with the measurements that you'll see through the viewfinder. This is a zero reading that you'll see used during calibration when you use only water to calibrate. You see the gray line intersects at the 0, which is a perfect calibration. Here, this is fuel that actually, or water that actually has diagme in it, and it measures at about 0.070% by volume at the gray line. You'll also need a 1-quart sample jar with a minimum 1 pint of fuel or 463 milliliters of jet fuel. You'll be using a glass separatory funnel and a stand. Here you'll see the funnel and stand together along with your quart jar, the refractometer, and a 250 milliliter graduated cylinder used to measure out your 160 milliliters of fuel used for the sample. Now let's get started. Before the test can proceed, you must calibrate the refractometer. Hold the refractometer in a horizontal position, lifting the prism cover plate, and make sure that the prism cover plate are clean. Using a plastic dipstick or common plastic syringe to prevent scratching the prism, place a few drops of water from the aluminum dish on the face of the prism itself. Close the cover plate and observe the location of the line in the viewer through the eyepiece. You'll see here that the line intersects at the 0, so there's no need to do any kind of calibration or movement of the line. Carefully clean off, as you see, the prism plate and set it aside. Next, you're going to carefully measure out 160 milliliters of jet fuel into a graduated cylinder. Carefully pour the fuel to avoid splashing. You'll see it's 160 degrees there at the meniscus of the liquid line. Carefully take that fuel and pour it into your separatory funnel. Ensuring to be careful to make sure you don't spill any of the fuel on the counter. Once that 160 milliliters have been used, you're going to use your syringe to take 2 milliliters of water from the aluminum dish, you see 2 milliliters there, and place it into your separatory funnel. Next, cap the funnel. Make sure it's tight so it doesn't spill. For the next 5 minutes, you're going to shake the sample vigorously. When you're done shaking, return the funnel to the stand and allow it to sit for 2 whole minutes. Carefully open the separatory funnel drain cock so that a trickle of water layer can be taken into a clean or dry aluminum dish, or if using a glass container. 2 or 3 drops is sufficient. Next, lift the prism cover or use the sample collection area and place a few drops of the test sample on the face of the prism using a plastic dipstick or the syringe. Hold the instrument in a horizontal line, keeping the cover plate intact with the prism and the instrument. Point the instrument towards the light. Here you see again the measurement of 0.070 at the gray line. Record your results, properly dispose of the unused fuel and water, and as always, wash your dishes. Thanks for watching.